All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dana White's Contender series with Mike and Wiz. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, WizzDoes. Wiz, what's up, brother? How are you feeling about this upcoming card?
Doing well. And this upcoming card is an interesting one, but I think we both have one fight that we're zeroing in on, and it's going to come quick. But really excited to be back. We took a 1-week hiatus because Mr. Mike went to Aruba. And first and foremost, congratulations.
Am I tan?
Oh, you're tanner. Not to level of Bozer yet, but you went to Aruba. Congrats on the engagement, my brother. And
Thank you.
break down these fights again.
Yeah, let's do it. Like you said, one matchup here that's my main event, and I'm surprised it's the first one.
Oh,
and real quick, I do want to plug for anybody tuning in later, because anyone tuning in now, you already missed it. My new intro song that was made by my boy Burke is his Instagram or whatever his DJ name. Gonna drop his link in my in the video description and probably all of my videos going forward. So check him out if you like his stuff. Dude's nice with it. He made that in literally like 5 minutes. So check him out. And let's hop right into this card. So our first fight, the one we've been talking about, we've got Vinicius Oliveira versus Victor Hugo Madrigal. Oliveira, he's 18-3-0, 27 years old, 5'9". Let me double check if I've got a different camp. I do not, so we're going to go with Sombra Team MMA. Madrigal, 12-3-0. Don't have his age. He's 5'7", so he's 2 inches shorter. And Wiz, why don't you start us off?
Yeah. I agree. This should be the actual main event for this card. And two bantamweights who I think are going to come out here and just swing heavies and go to war. Oliveira is a guy who, as a striker, I love. He sets up every single strike with good feints, good power, and he's creative with the way that he strikes. He creates a lot of good angles with these feints. He catches these guys off guard, drawing these awkward reactions out of them. And oftentimes they drop their hands and he just counters, immediately going after it, which I love. And the one thing when we talk about strikers is, okay, cool, they're good at striking, but do they have a ground game? And this guy Oliveira, he does have a really good jiu-jitsu background, and he can scramble. He has the submission ability. And, sometimes like I could see him get a little bit overconfident and cocky in his fights, but I think it's for good reason. This guy is the goods. And for me, I'm waiting for them to drop a line on Oliveira, because to me, Madrigal is he's decent, but levels below what Oliveira offers. And especially if this fight hits the ground, for some reason, I just feel like Oliveira can get an insta sub. But I do think Oliveira finishes this guy in round 1 via knockout. Madrigal, you look at his record. I mean, this is the first time for me hearing of Budo promotion, the fight promotion, and it seems like it's a lot of lower level guys. And he's been knocked out before by Marcelo Rojo, who in his own right is a very big hitter. But all that being said, I still think Oliveira gets this done, fighting out of UAE Warriors, which is a decent regional promotion too. So we've seen a lot of guys come out of that promotion, and they've panned out pretty well. So give me Oliveira here, inside the distance.
Yeah, for me, if this is like minus 200 or around that range or lower for some reason, this is going to be max bet number 2 of the season, in my opinion. Oliveira is probably one of the best guys we're going to see. Dude is a stud. Like, I pulled up this fight. It was the last one because I went from the top, and he's so good. And the competition levels aren't even comparable. He's beating guys like this guy's Sultan Ulu. He was 14-1 at the time. He's now 19-2. He hasn't lost since. This guy Xavier Alou, he's the current champion at UAE Warriors. Sylvester Chifumvu, I don't know him. I mean, I watched the fight, but I don't know him. Ali Taleb, he knocked him out. that was a good fight, and a fight I think he could have won, but he got cocky, like Wiz said, and he got knocked out. Taleb is 9-0 though, and a very, very hard hitter. And this guy Hikaru Yoshino, I wasn't at all like, oh, I didn't know who he was, but he looks pretty solid from what I saw. I ran some of his own tape just to see what he was like. He was a good wrestler. So all good wins. And then you look at who Madrigal is fighting, and it's just like nobody really that great. Like Quinones, he's a UFC vet. He's one of the guys that Sean O'Malley knocked out for his highlight reel. Really nothing special. And even that fight wasn't that great because you look at it and Madrigal is getting hit. He's getting hit a lot. And it's not just in that fight. It's every single fight. Own striking, I think it's okay. It's pretty good, but he wings a lot. His kicks are pretty good, but that's really it. Doesn't really wrestle too much. And then the takedown defense, I think it could be better. You see him defending some takedowns. You see him getting up pretty well. He scrambles well, but not against anyone like Oliveira. Oliveira, I think he won't even really try to take it to the ground. I think he's just going to beat this dude up on the feet. He's so nasty. Hands are so fast. Combinations are so slick. Like Wiz said, he's making angles. He's so good. The footwork is so good. I love everything about this guy. And like I said, his wrestling is there too if he chooses to use it. I don't think he's going to be the one getting taken down. And yeah, I love Oliveira here. I think it's him all day long. If they give me something remotely playable, it's going to be a max bet.
Yep. Agreed.
Hopefully they're not listening right now, though. Hopefully.
No, give us Madrigal, man.
Yeah, actually, Madrigal is going to smash. You know, he should probably be like minus 300 around that range.
Yeah. I would max bet him at -4.
Now Madrigal is gonna lose, and someone's gonna clip that and just be like, "Look at these two idiots."
They don't know what they're talking about.
But all right, moving away from the banger, we've probably got the least exciting fight on the card. We've got Ernesta Kareckaite versus Carli Judice. Karekkaite's 4-0-1. I don't have her age. She's 5'9" though, very, very tall lady. Judice 3-0. She's 24 years old. Don't have her height either. Measuring her to like people she's fighting and to her training partner Aaron Phillips, I'm guessing she's around 5'7".
6'7".
She's going to be the shorter woman here, but I don't think it's going to be by too much. And I'll start us off. So Judice is a very, very short notice replacement. Literally got announced a few hours ago. Me and Wiz were taping this card, and I told him, he's like, God damn it. And that's how I felt too. But, and it would have been cool to see the other lady fight. Rachmanova, I think was her last name. She was pretty cool. It would have been an interesting matchup. But for this one, Kareckaite, she's got a kickboxing background. I tried to look up like what promotion it was or what her record was. Couldn't really find anything. Her tape is a little bit underwhelming, to be completely honest. She's got tall woman's defense, and that's going to happen if you're a flyweight who's 5'9". So you're going to be a little bit more hittable. Your chin is going to be out there. And sometimes her striking looks great. Sometimes I think the combinations look really good. The kickboxing looks good. She mixes in the kicks into her combos, which is good. Uses the range. But sometimes she's just not really doing enough. She's fighting in the pocket where she has no advantage whatsoever because she's so long. 2 out of 3 of her MMA fights are against this woman, Blot. One of them, I believe, was a draw. The other one was a split. And Blot is like... she's 40 years old, first of all, and she's like mostly a grappler, I guess. It was just weird, but she was getting hit in the Blot fight. She was getting taken down. Her takedown defense is horrendous. Her ground game, horrendous. I don't know whether Judice is really going to offer much in terms of wrestling either, though, looking at her tape. I mean, in her pro fights, you have 3 fights all done in the first round. And then in her amateur tape, there's some good stuff, but I'm not really seeing too much wrestling. She's a striker too. I don't know if she has a kickboxing background or what the deal is there, but I actually really liked what I saw. I thought that her striking looked very clean. She mixes in those kicks as well. I like how she goes to the body. We're not seeing that often in these weight classes, especially not in women's MMA. You're not seeing a lot of body shots on the regionals, and she's doing it. And low key, I think that she's going to come in here. I think she's not going to give Kareckaite the range she needs, and I think she's going to beat up on her, and it's going to look funky, but I think we're going to get a good line too, but it's not like a super confident spot because we're not working with a lot, but my brain and my gut agree. So I like it. How about you, Wiz?
Yeah. When I was taping Kareckaite, I just felt like she was very hittable in a sense. She doesn't cover the body at all, which plays into what Carli does. And a lot of that tall woman defense, which I always hate to see, especially in these lower levels. Depending on that, it's not good against a girl who has some power, 3-0 in her pro record, and she's knocked out all three. So for me, the kickboxing acumen of Kareckaite is just it left a little bit more to be desired. And sure, in some fights she looks pretty good, but I think it's just because she's facing absolute cans. And I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing about Carli. She's facing cans, but she's dealing with them though, like first round knockouts. That's how you deal with cans.
And I don't think they're 40 either.
Yeah, they're not 40, and their name is not Blot. You didn't fight them twice. So yeah, I do think that I would likely be on the Carli side, maybe the plus 3.5 if we get a decent line, and probably the money line as well. So give me Carli here. I think she probably stops her late in the third round or late in the second round with these body shots.
Yeah, for me, Carli, like I've been talking about it this season, and it's been working out for me so far. I'm trying to target guys or women that, aside from skill and everything, they're just like going for it. We say the dog in them. We're fighting for your money. For me, it's like kind of a combination of all of it. Like that's what I've been looking for. Guys like Budka, for example, like that's what I saw in him, and I saw the opposite in his opponent, and I locked in on that. And I feel like we're seeing a similar dynamic here, where one woman I don't think is going to be a very good nail, and the other one, you know, slam her over the head with a chair. She's going to keep coming, and she's probably going to knock you out. And I'd like to put my money behind the latter.
Absolutely.
But moving on, we've got Danny Silva versus Angel Pacheco. Silva's 7-1-0. He's 26 years old, 5'11" with a 71-inch reach. CSW Training Center is what I got here. Pacheco 7-1-0. He's 5 years older at 31, 3 inches shorter. Start BJJ. Don't have his gym. Why don't you start us off, Wiz?
Yeah, so this guy Danny Silva is someone who I'm pretty familiar with. Danny Silva actually is training partners with Victor Henry, who I've helped in the past, and I've been around him for a little bit. And this guy's striking is really good. Like everything else, like overall skill set, I wouldn't say is anything too special, but the boxing is pretty clean. He lands accurately, and he doesn't really overthrow on these punches and force power. He's not a big power guy himself, usually going a decision. And yeah, the boxing uptight and the way he works the body is just something that I really like in the game of Danny Silva here. Going up against the guy in Pacheco who he has some of that dog in him, I will say, just based off of the tape. He has some power, but the one thing I struggle with here on the Pacheco side is that this guy's not technical at all. He's winging a lot of shots. He's missing and whiffing on a lot of these punches. And it doesn't really offer anything besides that. I think this fight probably goes to the judges more often than not. And I do think that Danny Silva by decision is going to be a solid look here. Coming out of Santa Ana, 10 minutes for me. My guy Danny Silva is going to get the job done.
Yeah. For me, this fight kind of reminds me of the Nguyen, forgot who he fought, Cunningham fight, where I just think one guy's just better. Just in general, is just better. Like Silva, his striking is really crisp. I really liked what I saw. Great combinations, good leg kicks. The counter game is there, and I think that's going to be what's going to get the job done here. Ultimately, I do think he counters Pacheco and puts him out. He's a bit hittable himself, but like it's not like Pacheco's showing this tremendous like threat on the feet. I don't see anything spectacular in his striking at all. The jab is good. I like his body shots, but he only does them when he's really up close against the fence. That's not really going to get you much. You got to be able to do it at range as well, and it's just not something he does. Silva goes to the body much better. The jab for Pacheco is good, but it's not going to really get you much with just a jab. The only like angle I can see for him is he's a brown belt, I believe, in jiu-jitsu, I'm pretty sure. And I haven't seen too much of Silva's ground game. The takedown defense I like what he's doing. I like everything I'm seeing. But I do like worry a little bit about the ground game. You see him giving up his back when he's getting back up. You see him making mistakes on the ground. And if Pacheco's brown belt is legit, then maybe he can actually do something like in a sub. I don't know that black belt is legit. I don't think it's that, like his grappling is that great. And ultimately, I just think Silva finishes him. Probably not going to be playable though. I think they're going to give us Silva like minus. I don't know. What do you think? I
Probably
was going to say
minus
minus 200,
yeah, I think 160, 170 is suitable.
but that's like almost playable.
Yeah, yes, but no, because of those liabilities on the Silva
On the
side,
ground, yeah.
on the ground. Yeah,
But all right, we can
interesting.
move. What'd you say?
I'm like, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, but we can move on to one where we really can't help you guys at all. Alexander Soldatkin versus Mario Piazzon. Soldatkin 14-3-0. He's 30 years old, 6'2", Spitfire Gym Berlin for him. Piazzon 6-0. He's 25. He's 5 years younger. He's going to be 2 inches shorter. Galpao de Luta for him. And so the reason I told you guys that we can't help you here is because there's no tape on Piazzon, and many of us are trying. Eventually someone's going to break through and hopefully we'll get something. I mean, at this point, like the only thing I can think of is like emailing the promotion and seeing if we can get something from there, because there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we don't know what we're dealing with. We know he has 5 knockouts. We know that he's Brazilian, and that's really all we know. And we know that his competition is pretty inadequate. We do know enough about Soldatkin to at least have an idea. I mean, to me, it's pretty clear they want Soldatkin to win. Big, scary heavyweight. He's not going to be a star by any means. I don't think he's that good. He's a good striker, good power. I actually think he's like pretty fast at like with his hands at heavyweight. I was pretty surprised there, and I thought he was pretty slick. He had that one spinning kick knockdown in I think it was his last fight or the one before that. He was going for the body, and the guy went down. And so good, and those work for him. I hate dudes who use spinning attacks unless they work, and like he uses them in other fights, and it really does work. I don't see him struggling here, but unless Piazzon is some kind of stud, I think they're bringing in like a Brazilian. Like, who was that guy Duraev just ran through? John C. Silva or something like that. I feel like this is gonna. Yeah, you don't remember for a reason.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be something similar like that, but I don't know. You have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, this guy, Alex, is insane. Like, he has power up the ass. Like, every time he hits someone, you can visibly tell that these guys do not like it. So, I mean, I just think that Alex probably wins this in the first round by knockout. He seems like another one of those, what's the guy's name? The Turkish dude that we had earlier this season?
Turkish dude?
He's light heavyweight.
Oh, our boy.
Islan. Oh, Aslan.
Aslan.
Yeah. He seems like another, like a heavyweight version of Aslan. I mean, the guy's built like a brick house, and he hits really hard. But yeah, we just don't have anything to go off of for Piazzon. So I can't say with definite like confidence, but I do think that Alex is the A side here.
We can do it this way, Wiz. If you showed somebody, do you have tap out here? Let me share it.
I have it.
I want to share it with everybody. Okay. If you showed these 2 pictures to your mom, your grandma, your mailman, and you asked them who's going to win this fight, what do you think they're going to point at, Wiz?
Oh, no. Click on the names. Click on the names so they can see the full-size version.
There's a full-size version?
Like when you go onto their profile.
Oh, that's mad work. This is enough.
What do you mean? You just have to click on the link on their name.
Here?
No, on the right there, on right over the number 4 heavyweight Russian, like right under the picture. Oh, what the hell? What kind of technology version are you on?
I don't know, but my point is Mario would have won.
I'm gonna have to share this, dude. This is for the people. This is gonna be insane.
You can share too?
Yeah, of course. Come on. All right, so look. You click on Alex. Guy built like a freaking brick. Look at him.
Okay.
He got freaking strength and muscle.
Yeah, but now show the other guy.
Click on Mario. This guy looks like got a little bit of flab on him.
You know who he reminds me of? Delon Monte from PFL.
He reminds me of a retired running back.
I don't know, man. He looks scary to me. Maybe he's gonna win.
Yeah, definitely rushed for 30 yards in his day.
But all right, we can we can move on to a fight we have information on, and it's our main event. We've got Danny Barlow versus Raheam Forest. Barlow is 6-0 undefeated. He's 6'2" with an 80-inch reach. On the other side, we've got Raheam Forest, 7-1-0. He's 26. Don't have his height, but I believe it's 6 feet. Don't have his reach for sure. And Wiz, why don't you start us off, brother?
Yeah, the original matchup in this fight, I believe it was Barlow. He's supposed to be fighting Justin Burlinson, who was on the Contender series a while ago. And that was a layup fight for Burlinson, in my opinion. But I don't know what happened with Burlinson. I think he's injured somehow or not medically cleared. Who knows? But I mean, this guy Barlow carries some power. I don't really like either guy's striking in this matchup, to be honest. I mean, they're both somewhat technical, but I think Barlow just throws a little bit more caution to the wind, and you can really tell with the power. And on the flip side, with Raheam, he's like an energy kind of guy, jumping around the cage, and really carries that into the fight, and it can allow him to explode into certain movements. But to be honest, I just think that Barlow is a little bit more ahead, or easy way I can say, he's a little bit less green than Raheam at this point. But I can't really say with confidence who I think is going to win this fight, because I feel like it's a puncher's chance either way. I feel like both guys can knock each other out at a pretty decent clip. I'm going to have to lean towards the Barlow side, but with really no confidence at all. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, for me, this is weird. I actually think Barlow's a pretty good striker. I liked what I saw. I think he's slick. Everything's nice and straight for the most part. Fast hands, good combos, body shots are good. I think he's a very solid striker. My problem is, he can be really hittable, and Forrest carries so much power. He's got so much power in those hands. And I think the takedown defense is going to be the story here. It's not very good. It looked weak in the Puma fight. He got held down on his back for several minutes, not doing anything. Didn't even try to really escape. And you can just tell that his ground game is very green. So he's a good striker, but he doesn't seem to be at a major camp. So I don't really have reason to expect his ground game to be improving. And I don't know that the striking alone is going to get the job done here. It could, because Raheam Forest, I like him a lot, but his striking, I think, is pretty sloppy. Everything's got a loop to it. He's got some nice combos and he's got some nice counters, but he's winging his shots way too much for my comfort. And if we're sitting at range, like if this is a kickboxing match, I would have my money on Barlow every single time, because I think for Forrest, it comes down to a puncher's chance on the feet. But the thing is, he can mix that up, and he's got good wrestling. He's extremely strong. He's got great takedowns. On top, he's very strong. He does have a problem where he's getting reversed in like every single damn fight. Radke reversed him, finished him. Got reversed by Luberts and Allison in fights that he won. They actually share a common opponent in Allison. Forrest submitted him, I believe, and Barlow knocked him out. But I just think the ground game will get it done. I'll see what the line is. The Tapology votes are all over Barlow. If you give me Forrest as an underdog, I mean, I'm going to have to play that. Not a hammer by any means, but a unit down for sure. I would play Forrest even like minus 125-ish, but I wouldn't go any further than that.
Yeah, the wrestling is something that sets him aside. If he could stay on top and not get reversed, this probably is his fight.
Yeah, but out of all people that he's fought, this guy's probably got the lesser chance of reversing him, because he really doesn't show anything. No guard, nothing.
100%. He just accepts it for the most part.
But all right, guys, that's a card. That's really all we have this week. Not the best card in the world. Really wish we had something on Piazzon, but I guess it's cool to have a mystery. Everyone's going to have Soldatkin round 1 knockout, and then Piazzon's going to come out here, be a jiu-jitsu whiz, take his back. We did see Soldatkin almost get submitted against that freaking 6'8" polar bear of a man.
6'8".
Huh?
That dude's 6'8", though.
Yeah, and gigantic. That was insane. But
Oliveira season, that's all I'm going to say.
That's all we need. The Oliveira fight, and then honestly, you can chill. Obviously, watch the fights. We all watch the fights, but less intently, because guys, Oliveira is so sick. I'm so hyped, and we're gonna hype him up now. He's gonna come out here and he's gonna get clipped. and then we're just gonna look stupid.
I don't want to hear that.
But so far we're doing all right. So hopefully we're right. Knock on wood.
You want to join the stream?
Sa-
You want to say hi?
Sadid.
Hey,
He has appeared. Fortnite again.
we have an up and coming capper over here.
Bro.
Yeah, he's too focused on Fortnite now.
Yeah, I'm too focused for Fortnite for my own goals. Psych.
All right, get out. Oh. Almost done.
Daddy left.
Do I have to write in the settings now that there's children in this video?
He left the milk. He left to get the milk.
These children nowadays.
Good thing we didn't curse on this stream. We should be good.
Yeah, we're good. We're chilling.
But all right, guys, that's it. That's all we've got this week. Unfortunately, hopefully next week's card is. But I actually do think it's better. I was looking at it earlier. We'll plug ourselves as usual. Then me and Wiz will head out. I've literally got a show in a half hour going live with my guy Patrick from Addicted to Combat. Normally, I go live on Tuesdays to break down UFC cards, but I was away in Aruba. I'm back now. Been doing tape literally all day long, so we'll be breaking that down with Pat. Then tomorrow I'll be doing prop talk like I always do on Twitter Spaces with my guy MMA Propaholic, and I'll put out my YouTube shorts tomorrow as well. Wiz, as always, thanks for joining me, brother. Let the people know what you got, and we'll head on out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's good to be back. And yeah, you all can find me at WizzDoes on Twitter and on YouTube. And I just recorded my NFL show for week 3 with Mr. Lou Beccia. So that's already up on the YouTube. And yeah, we've been running really hot this season, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next season too. I know it's only 3 more weeks left, but we've been doing really good. So I hope you guys have been cashing with us.
Hell yeah. Make sure to check them out. And all right, guys, peace out. Good luck and goodbye.